Yes, we are in the last days. Technically, less than 1,000 days before the world as you know it and currently live in no longer exists. This all began in August of 2017 with God's final warning of the solar eclipse, which traveled from the northwest across the southeast of America. Then, September 2017, there was an alignment in the stars that dates back to biblical times of revelation. This then ushered in the beginning of the 7-year period of tribulation. Since then, there have been numerous events that are not only catastrophic, but called biblical in their description by news and media outlets. Unexplainable. It can all be explained. The reality is, God controls everything. It's easy to call things climate change. Obviously, the climate changes, but who created the climate? God. Who created the planets? God. Who created the entire universe? God. And only a fool thinks he can control the weather. The events that have occurred over the past 4 years have been ramping up in intensity. Everything that is occurring right before your eyes have been written about in the Bible. And those who refuse to accept that this is reality and fact, and it is all being played out right before your eyes, whether you choose to accept it or not is irrelevant. You have less than 3 years to get right with God. Those who choose not to, it is their choice, and they will have to live and, most of all, die with it. Ironic if you think about it. The Spanish flu, which occurred with the last solar eclipse that went across the United States. And now, after the solar eclipse of 2017, the pandemic has been unleashed all over the world. Whether it was done purposely or an accident, COVID has been released. And the fools who tried to create it, for whatever reason, had no longer have control over it. And it is God who controls everything. This is just the beginning. The virus will morph into more intense and brutal forms, eventually eradicating 90% of the population. You've been warned. You failed to heed the warnings. Slowly but surely, death will come to everyone's doorstep, whether if not by fire, by flood, earthquake, famine, pestilence, viruses that will soon wipe out all people who inhabit this earth that do not believe in God and do not live a good life, a fair life, a decent life. If you choose to live a immoral life, a criminal life, you will pay for your sins. The culmination of the events will occur in late 2023 into 2024. when there will be a planetary alignment that hasn't occurred since 79 AD. Again, these are things beyond the control of any foolish human, government, or group that thinks that they know what's best for the planet. The final warning from God will occur April of 2024 with the last solar eclipse that will create an X across the United States from the northeast to the southwest, which will usher in the final days with cataclysmic events beyond the comprehension of most human beings. The best thing you can do is get right with God and pray and hope that when October 2024 comes around, you are spared. Most of you will continue to live your immoral, self-destructive lives. You reap what you sow. Remember, numbered are your days. How you choose to live them out is entirely up to you. But think of it as a final warning. What will you do without power, water, food? Do you have any clue on what is required in order to survive and thrive in the new realm? You better get educated now before it's too late. Get right with God. Prepare yourself or meet your demise.